Okay, here goes the watch this video for Friday, March 9th. Showing you the SPY. Pretty resilient still. Let me open up a few screenshots here. I should have been more prepared. All right, so here's one that I tweeted today. Kind of showing you a screenshot of my idea in chat, NETE flagging below the half. This hadn't happened yet. It's when it looked like, well, when it was trading right about here. Said might get a late day squeeze over this flag, and ended up going to like 1050 from there. I just took the screenshot right after it happened to show you the kind of an example. What we do in chat, a time-stamped post, and the reason for it was it gapped up, had good news, and then sold off, right? Bears in charge. Next thing you know, by the afternoon, it's come up pretty close to the red to green, pretty close to the open, pulls back, and my thinking was through this, we're going to go red to green and high of day. So two catalysts above if we break this flag. And it was right at the half, one of those inflection points. If you haven't seen our inflection point webinar, it's free, as are all of our webinars. So in the description below, arrow pointing at it there, there is a link to all of our free webinars. Check them out. There's a lot of good stuff in there, all free content. There's also a special offer to our chat room membership. So check that out too, as well as our course. So there's an example from today. So you got another one here. This was a pre-market call. Another one in NETE that I called through the whole number 8 and it ended up going to almost 9 before rolling over. Another good example on NET. I don't usually trade in pre-market, but I actually did take that one. ZSAN. What a monster today. Jane, one of our members in chat. Fantastic trader. She lives in the UK. She posted before this, it was probably down here, hey, watch ZSAN for a red to green. And this isn't just me saying, hey, well, one of our members said it. When I saw her say it, when I saw her type it, I put it out over the mic. Hey, guys, Jane's looking at a ZSAN for a red to green, which is through the open, which is right here. Never looked back. If you watch our videos, our inflection points, we always try to find stuff that if it triggers, should work right away, where you don't have to worry about falling into that trap of averaging down because you're red right away. That's where all of my the whole trading course and everything I do in trading was born out of me in my learning years. Just the disdain I developed for taking a trade and then being red right away. I felt like someone was looking over my shoulder, jinxing me all the time. So put together a system where I don't trade unless I should have an immediate green result, and then your only worry is scaling out in parts, right? So a great idea by Jane there, which was, I don't know, 1454, something like that. You can see what it ended up going. Let's get that out of the way. From 1454, it ended up going, this is not a blip or an errant tick. It actually went to 2570 today. And this is the intraday before it finally rolled over at the end. So great teamwork as always in the chat room. Another inflection point trade from today was Wayne's call, which I'm kind of mad at Wayne because he's in Jersey. He's got no electricity. He's got no internet. And he finds a way to, I don't know, buy candlelight. And he's got a backup generator to run his computer and stuff. And he figured out how to use his phone to make a hotspot. And he spots this trade. He calls this basically back through the high of day. But you kind of had the open, the whole number 10 as a possible whole number inflection point, and high of day all in one area. So when this does break, look at this. Goes straight to almost 12. And Wayne's call was right here at 10:15. So there's another example. But yeah, he's making more money in the dark without internet than I am this week. I don't know how he's doing. He's a great trader. All right, anyway, let's go back. SPY holding up really well. I wanted to show you a few highlights from today. Here's what I'm watching for tomorrow. And I do have a little lesson here about holding overnight too. And I'll do that after I finish these stocks. So ITUS had this really nice run, then a lower high and a lower high still. It's kind of coiling. Could also break to the downside. So I wanted to at least break today's high, which was 446, before I'll get involved tomorrow. Certainly worth having on a chart. NETE, I showed you our two trades in that today. And closed so strong that we absolutely want to watch that one tomorrow. PCMI, showed you that one too, and it held up well enough that we want to watch that tomorrow, maybe for a red to green. JAGX, massive move. Listen to the numbers on this one. It went from 14 cents all the way to 44 cents on an intraday basis before settling in right at the 200 day, which you often see that. When something makes a big move and rips right through the 200-day, usually by the end of the day, not usually, but often, they'll settle in right at the 200-day. A little tip for you. Certainly worth watching tomorrow and all next week, by the way. Anytime you get a crazy move like that. CRIS, a big breakout on big volume today. We'll see if we get a follow through in that one tomorrow. AMTX. Huge move the other day. Then it kind of had a topping tail. And today, if you switch to 15-minute candles, this is kind of interesting over today's high, right? Over 120. Maybe that we retest that recent high. Not in love with it, but we're going to have it on a chart. Didn't mean to go to the monthly chart there. It's a daily. Couple more. INFI back on watch again today on long watch. Had this big pop, lower high, lower high. Today, closing right about at yesterday's high. Certainly worth watching. And then NIHD still coiling. So a potential long there. And I said I wanted to give you one lesson real quick. And this is why I don't hold overnight. Okay? This, if someone said, you know, it put a gun to my head and said, hey, you've got to hold something overnight, this probably would have been it. Right? This is a beautiful chart. You had a huge pop here to almost 90 cents, then a lower high, then it kind of revisits this lower high here and flags, and then today breaks out. I actually took a trade in this one today in the chat room. But the way it closed, if I was a swing trader, not only would I have expected this with this beautiful chart to go higher in after hours, but I would expect it, you know, then a gap up tomorrow. So this looks really pretty, right? Then you've got one potential catalyst above over 89 cents. This thing's probably going to go to $1 and maybe retest this in the next couple days, right? Then in after hours, it's trading at almost 50 cents. Well, right now it's trading at 62. So they had earnings. But anyway, the point being here, the lesson being here, a lot of people would say, well, even if earnings are coming out, this chart is telling you they're going to be good because it's a beautiful chart. It's a coin flip, man. You never know. Even if the earnings were good, this still could have sold off, right? People could have deemed that the earnings were baked into the price and so on. So this is a great reason why I don't hold overnight, all right? Now, someone could argue, well, it's a low-priced, you know, under $1 biotech. You'd be a fool to hold overnight, and I certainly wouldn't disagree with that. Whereas a stock like a Home Depot or something like that isn't likely to get a nasty haircut in after hours on something like that. So anyway, keep that in mind. But that's a beautiful chart. It was going to be on watch tomorrow until I saw what happened in after hours, so it's irrelevant now. All right, we're going to add some gappers to this list in the pre-market, and there should be plenty to trade tomorrow. Have a great night, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.